You can't say your country is illegitimate and then think there will be no repercussions from that.
So like now when a conservative gets in, they're going to have to pivot hard against all the shit and do the same stupid tactics that you use, which is not good. But
it would be nicer if everyone thought that there was some level of neutrality, but the problem is there never will be, because if you don't push back on what the liberal postmodern types are going to do, and the second they get power back again, they're just going to keep pushing it further in their direction. Well, thanks for being here again. Nice to see you.
Came through a snowstorm for this.
Came through a snowstorm to have another important chat here about current events in Canada. Did you hear about that Stephen Guilbeault resigned because the memorandum of understanding between the federal government and Alberta on the pipeline?
That guy's such a tool.
That's what I said.
Like, such a tool. Like, Guilbeault was like one of the big problems with why Canada is in such a shitty situation it's in right now. It's like,
yeah, that's what I said. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, and he was like, "Well, you got to respect him for sticking with his principles." And I was like, "I don't think that's what happened there."
I respect him for sticking to his principles. I completely don't respect him because he's retarded.
Yeah, well, exactly. So it's like, okay, maybe he is sticking to his principles, but let's see what he's upset about. He's upset that no longer will he have a ban on internal combustion engines on cars being sold in the country as of 2035, which the car manufacturers themselves will tell you wasn't going to work. So, and made no sense. So it's like that wasn't going to happen anyway. What was the other one? The carbon tax, which there were no metrics for like seeing whether or not that was actually working for reducing emissions. And also, don't even get me started on why Canada needs to be some leader in reducing emissions. And if your plan is to just make everyone poorer, that doesn't seem like a great plan. Like maybe we could do a different plan. Like China's still burning tons of coal, and there's like a world full of adversaries out there. It seems like we shouldn't be impoverishing ourselves for ideology.
It's weird that China makes the renewable energy things like the solar panels and the wind turbines, and then sells them to us. If they were actually a net like improvement in their energy resources, they would keep those and create energy with them. So clearly, China at least has calculated that these are useless compared to fossil fuels.
Yeah. And they use like coal-fired plants to create electricity, to create these like green products that then the West purchases and just like feels virtuous. It's like, look how green we are. It's like, yes, unfortunately, you just outsourced the emissions, and China did it. And so
yeah, it was like a Tesla car has to run off of like clean source, meaning nuclear or hydro, for like 7 or 8 years before it's carbon neutral. So it's like bullshit. It's like we still need to use fossil fuel for the foreseeable future for the longest time.
And as for like the whole like let's make every car in Canada an electric car plan, the infrastructure like couldn't support it. And then also you have the fact that like the batteries don't last forever. They last like what, a decade if you're lucky.
There needs to be like new material science that makes batteries infinitely better than what they are now, like at least to an order of like 2 or 3 to hold more charge and have less weight before you can actually have them as your source, right? Because right now, what happens if a regular car gets into a car accident? Well, you have your fuel inside might burn up, right?
Yeah.
When you have a Tesla or something that gets into a car accident and it starts on fire, it burns like forever. Like it burns for so long and you can't put it out.
So I've seen these videos of this car company in China. They've designed a special ejection mechanism so that if the battery starts burning, then it's like shooting a cannon out of a ship. Like back in the 1800s or whatever. It like fires the battery out to the side. Well, what if you're in traffic, and there's actually 2 lanes of cars to your left or your right, and then you fire that battery and it's burning. So now you're just making another car burn.
Tim, that's somebody else's
They don't
problem.
have the ability to fire that battery again. Now it's just underneath their car, and they're stuck in traffic and can't move their car.
And if they're also a electric vehicle, then you've started a chain reaction.
Oh my God, it's like everyone's just firing burning batteries at each other, and it's like Pirates of the Caribbean on the highway.
Yeah, but if they had the music, it'd be worth it.
It would be epic, but it would be tragic.
Yes, it would be tragic. So you have that problem, and then you have the biggest problem with the material science is that there's just not enough. They don't store enough energy for us to drive long distances without changing them, and we don't have the infrastructure to quickly change out a battery to, be useful in a country the size of us. Like, our country is enormous. We have massive distances we have to travel to get to, from city to city.
I have personally done like a 20-hour road trip without stopping, aside from a few minutes for gas. Like, that's just, I don't think, possible in an electric vehicle.
No, and there's 8 charging stations from here to Halifax. It's they don't have the infrastructure to support it. And they have this crazy idea that, we'll just do it. And it's another problem with this country is it gets fucking cold.
Yeah.
And batteries and cold, current batteries and cold don't go together well. So yeah, it was a pipe dream to begin with. Like you said earlier, I think his plan, the only thing that makes sense is his plan was for us to all be so poor that we stop polluting.
Well, that is literally the plan with the carbon tax was we're going to make because the whole idea is we're going to nudge you onto an alternative. But the problem with some areas is there is no alternative. If your alternative is a $50,000 brand new electric vehicle, the government might give you a few $1,000s in subsidies. I don't care. 90% of the population isn't going out and buying a new $50,000 vehicle just because you want them to.
Another problem I see, and this is crazy, is that you have China, which is creating some of the best EVs you can possibly have. And we've tariffed them to the point where they can't sell them here. It's if you actually cared about, green this and green that, you'd allow China to give us the EVs we need to be clean.
From a security perspective, I wouldn't want it.
No, you don't. You shouldn't want it or whatever. But still, they can build an EV for $10,000. That costs us $50,000.
Aren't they probably more prone to catching fire though?
Actually, apparently they're quite good in terms of their reliability and stuff. It's obviously if you get the lower end ones, but they subsidize their companies so much with their backing of the government that they're actually quite. It's like Huawei but with cars, right? It's a good product.
Wasn't Huawei built off the back of Nortel?
I think Huawei is built off the back of as many thefts as they could make to the West.
But I believe it was chiefly Nortel.
Probably.
That's why Nortel died.
Well, that's what they do, right? They entice companies to come into China. Then in order to be in China, you have to have your own, what would we call it?
They stick a government,
a Chinese government
representative
in your company.
Yeah, every company.
And then all of a sudden, all your secrets get leaked, and now there's a factory that's making the exact same cars that you used to make. This is what they've done forever, and it's they didn't need to spend money on R&D because they just took it, and that's that's a good strategy if you're trying to catch up and you don't give a shit, right? So. From that standpoint, it's it's not good that they stole all this stuff, but the stuff works. Like all these people saying, the Chinese will never get enough chips to compete with the West. It's they'll steal the shit. They'll figure the way out. They're a giant country with huge resources. They're going to get these chips. So they're doing all these things where they're trying to limit them to these chips. They're going to get the chips. And it's either we, have a better product that can compete them, or eventually, they're going to outcompete us. And it's what do we do then? We're going to be screwed because you don't want to, which is it's sad that this is the way it's going, but you don't want your country to have only Chinese parts in it, right? It's a pretty big national security problem if everything you have now is outsourced from China, right? You don't want all of their cars. You don't want all of their phones. You don't want all of this because at some point, maybe we'll get into some I'm hoping never, but you might get into a battle, and then all of these things you use from China might not be so good to have in your country at that point.
Yeah, that's why I don't want a bunch of Chinese electric cars on the road because they're essentially robots that can be remote controlled.
100%, which is hopefully I feel we're going to be okay. We're not going to get in this big war, and I really hope, because when you look at it, what do we manufacture here in Canada anymore? We used to do cars. We don't do that anymore. We used to do minerals and stuff like that. We don't do anymore. We used to do gas. We don't do that anymore. What do? We don't do anything.
Yeah, no,
how are we going to have the production
mostly raw materials,
to fight a war? And that's the thing with China. It's they build the weapon manufacturers from the West use everything from China to build their weapons. It's you can't go to war with your weapon dealer or your weapon manufacturer. It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, if you're middle of the process machinery to create your end product weapons, all of a sudden break down and you can't get replacement parts because they all came from China. Well, then I guess you can't make the end product weapons.
You can't. And like that seems to be what they're doing. And like bravo for China for like figuring out all these little like bottlenecks that they could, they could monopolize this part of like the production line and this part of the rare resources line, and they've made it so that we rely on them. So
well, and there's literally no competition anymore even possible, because I was watching a video when Trump started going crazy with the tariffs of some guy being like, okay, I make these and sell them in America, but like I get them from China. So this like small business owner was like, I looked into the process of like, what could I do to get these parts made in America? And he's like, out of like all the people I called, like these people never called me back. The ones who did were like either said that they couldn't do it because it would be too expensive, or like whatever price that they gave me, it wouldn't be profitable for my business. So I couldn't do it. Yeah. So it's like, I literally cannot get this piece made in America. There's no one who will do it for me.
Yeah. But they've done that with so many key like parts of the supply chain that it's like, why it bothers me that there's all this like posturing and like war, we're going to go to war and stuff. It's like, dude, you can't. You don't have.
Well, America already has ridiculous stockpiles of stuff.
I don't know if they do. I would hope so, but I don't know. So that's what I mean. Like, it's like, I would hope we're going into a world that's more like, let's all be friends. I know maybe that's naive of me, but it's like, I have a feeling.
That's incredibly naive.
I have a feeling that we're doing the whole like Zelensky thing. You notice how Zelensky now is.
Have you like been keeping up at all with what's going on like China and Japan right now?
Not particularly.
Well, there's a lot of saber rattling, it seems like.
Oh yeah, but they always saber rattle. They really don't like each other.
I don't know. It seems like it's coming to a head maybe.
I think the whole idea is that they're going to take over Taiwan soon, and then Japan's going to have to like step in. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's always been
or like Japan. If China anticipates that, then they just might attack Japan first.
You can't attack Japan though. Japan has the second largest navy in the world. Good luck.
They're right there.
Yeah, but good luck.
Okay.
They have a pretty good navy.
Okay, China's literally been like building islands
for sure. And that's what I mean when people say China is like this paper tiger. It's like, no, they have the engines to build whatever they want. Like the only thing they don't have is energy. And guess what? Guess who sells them energy?
Some of the quality of the shit that they build is crap, but sometimes that doesn't matter if they still accomplish what their goal was.
Well, yeah, like there can be an inferior product and they just have 100 times more than you. They're going to beat you. So. But what I mean is like, there's all this posturing. There's all this. I think what's going to happen with Taiwan is the same thing that happened with what the hell is it called? Why is my brain not working? The other Chinese colony that was British owned, and then they gave it back. They just gave it back like a few years ago. Why can't I think of it?
A Chinese colony?
Yeah. Well, it was British.
You're talking about Hong Kong?
Hong Kong. Thank you.
Okay.
My brain I have not been able to like come up with words lately. It's been really bad. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, Hong Kong. It's the same thing that happened with Hong Kong.
Because I was picturing like China being like an empire and establishing a colony somewhere else, and it was like, it's like, what do you?
Good now, thanks, Tim. But it's gonna go. I think Taiwan's gonna go the same way as Hong Kong, where it's gonna be like there'll be all this people saying, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever." There's gonna be riots.
But doesn't Taiwan have its own military?
It has its own military.
Hong Kong didn't.
But at this point, it's basically the people. The government of Taiwan is slowly being kind of gobbled up and becoming more pro-Chinese. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I've heard. So I have a feeling maybe a few years down the line, they're just going to basically be absorbed.
Seems like a lot of speculation on your part.
It is. I don't know shit about anything. I'm just some guy in a suit.
just a guy wearing a winter coat inside.
It's extremely cold in this room.
It's not that bad.
It is so cold in this room. You have no idea.
You're such a baby.
If I could, like, we digitally get rid of the breath after and the post-processing of this, but it's very cold.
There's no room in the budget for...
But yeah, so China, for all the shit that we say about China is like, they're going to collapse in 10 years. It's like good.
No, Peter Zion loves to say that.
It makes no sense to me. Like a few years ago, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then like, you just think about it for a few minutes.
Well, they're not going to disappear off the face of the earth. He loves the hyperbole. He's like, oh, like China will be gone in like 10 years.
No, it's like
they're not all going to die in 10 years.
You have, yeah, but they have so much and they're so good at, mainly because they're a dictatorship. Like they just do whatever they have to do. Right? Like,
Yeah.
They just do whatever they have to do. If they have to sacrifice like 1 million people here, they'll do it, right? Like these people that are like, they're just gonna just be gone and be like it'll be a blackout and we do.
No, I think
it's like no, you're gonna have
they'll be limited. Like if they do anything militarily, I think their problem, what Peter Zion might be correct about, is that if they import most of their food and if a lot of that is coming by sea, that's like an easy bottleneck.
Yeah, but you have the main people giving them food is like Russia. Like
Russia kind of might have its own problems to worry about.
For sure. But I feel like we're going into a world where it's going to be like, you're going to have your Russia, you're basically your BRICS.
Because it sounds like the rest of Europe is beginning to realize like, okay, we might actually have to fight Russia because Russia's like pushing into like Polish airspace. Like they're being aggressive to a lot of.
So we hear. I don't really trust that stuff, but like this is what I'm saying.
I guess you could say I don't trust the news, but it's like this is the only news that we have. So it's like
for sure. But I have a feeling that you heard about the new Zelensky stuff where he's like he's embezzling all this stuff and he's so corrupt and this and that just all started like recently, like the last month or so. They started saying that on all of the like mainstream news. And it's like when you get that, you have the one narrative that's like, he's the hero of the world. And then all of a sudden it switches over. It's like, okay, somebody somewhere that's powerful made a decision that he's got to go. And they're slowly like working their way to get rid of him.
Yeah, probably. But like also narratives do and can organically change.
For sure. Yeah. And for all I know, he's a horribly corrupt asshole like Ukraine was before this. Like he probably has. But what's going to happen is that war is going to come to an end. It's going to be the details are not going to be favorable for the West. It's going to be like Russia gets a ton of shit and a ton of things in their favor. And, Ukraine barely gets anything. And that's what's going to happen. And like, I think anybody who thinks otherwise is like crazy. And Europe is in that situation where they're like, you can't just give in. And then Ukraine's like, please give us money. And they're like, we can't just give you anything anymore. Like they're out. Their economy, they're basically Canada without any futures, like the UK and Europe. Like they don't produce their own energy. Their manufacturing has just plummeted. Like they don't make anything anymore. It's like their population has just tanked. Like it's very scary to see what's going to be happening. And look at the UK and their laws they're coming up with and how much they're like
just crazy
cracking
shit.
down on free speech.
I saw today. So some British guy goes to America, gets a picture taken of himself holding a rifle. He posts it on LinkedIn. When he gets back to England, they like arrest him and accuse him of like harassing or inciting or something for fucking posting a picture of himself holding a rifle on LinkedIn. And it's not like he was aiming at anything or anybody. It was just him holding a rifle. And he was literally, they eventually I think dropped the charges, but it's like the government went after him.
It's scary, man. It's scary.
It's mind blowing.
And that's what happens when your people are when your government realizes that your people are screwed and what do we need to do to protect ourselves is essentially what's happening. I'm hopeful that all of these shitty governments, the Carneys, the
Starmers,
the Macrons, the Starmers, I'm just adding accents for no reason.
The Starmer's a British one. I don't know why you said it like that.
I feel like those people, the Bidens, they're all coming to an end. Like it's like shit. Everyone's realizing this game is just...
Well, not everyone, because Canada, like... Dude, Carney basically, like, completely flip-flopped on everything he campaigned on. And most of the people who voted for him were like, yeah, that's fine. And it's like, okay, whatever, but don't... Like, how can you just so casually be like, I don't care about what I was really riled up about a week ago?
In my stance, and this is going to be weird for me to say, I feel like Carney is actually doing a fairly good job. Like, he's doing... as fucked as we have been, like we've been so screwed over the last 10 years. It's wild how much we've disintegrated as a society and as a country and as an economy. He's actually doing the things that we need to do to get back up on our feet.
Aside from the MOU, which happened a couple days ago, which I believe is non-binding, and it sounds like BC and the First Nations still have a veto, so it probably won't happen. And Carney was just outsourcing the veto to them.
The federal government, I believe, has the final say in terms
that's
of
what I
actually doing
thought, but it seems very murky. I can't. Everyone's saying different things. It's like
so I'm here from the small things I've listened to about it. It's like this is the Nixon going to China moment where you need the leftist. You can't have a conservative government dismantling all these things that would been like gospel for the last 10 years. You need an actual like liberal government to do it here. And like having a pipeline that actually works and gets your oil from Alberta to any other country other than the States, having that one thing alone is going to make Canadians way, way, way more prosperous than anything else that's on the table. Like these.
So you think it actually is going to happen?
I think it's inevitable. I think if you continue to go down the path we're going down, where we're basically like constantly having massive debts,
well, we'll
there's
say
only one way to get out of that.
Yeah, well, it is good news that Stephen Guilbeault resigned, because it says that like maybe it actually is the right thing happening. If he's pissed off, that's usually good. But assuming that in this case the issue was the issue and it wasn't just subterfuge.
Yeah, who knows? Like you can't believe anything anymore. And the CBC is just ridiculous, where it's like they'll just write a hit piece on anybody that disagrees with them. It's like it's crazy how it's like if you could be the most left-wing person, but now you disagree with them on this one issue. It's like you're a right-wing Nazi, fascist. Like they'll just write the most incendiary things about you, and it's like. One of the guys I listened to on the Looney Hour. You've heard of the Looney Hour?
No.
It's just a podcast with a bunch of economists that are Canadian based. And the one guy
it's a good name.
Posted, it's a great name. Yeah. He posted a graph that basically said the GDP per capita of Canada is just atrocious. And
yes, I know that.
That's why we're having the productivity crisis that we're in right now. And what's the VP of Vance of America?
JD Vance.
JD Vance reposted that on Twitter or whatever. And then as soon as he reposted that, CBC wrote a hit piece on the Looney Hour guy, who's actually pretty like he doesn't say anything. He literally is an economist, doesn't say anything right wing.
He's just talking about actual numbers.
He's got hours and hours and hours. He's like a huge super nerd. And they wrote a hit piece on him
because JD Vance reposted his thing.
JD piece, and he said that they asked him a few questions, and like because you're as a journalist you call up and you ask a few questions, you can get their side of the story, and they used none of that, and they just hit him with the hit piece.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, so it's like, it's even more hurtful when you're a Canadian and the CBC, which you're paying for, is slandering you.
Yeah. Oh, and like I've seen people post on Twitter about how CBC will contact them as an expert for a story, and then if what they end up saying doesn't agree and align with what the CBC already wanted to be true, they just won't use that. So it's like we talked to 3 experts and they said this, and then this person on Twitter will be like, "Well, they spoke to me too, but they just decided not to use anything that I said because I told them stuff that they didn't like to hear." Like
that's a bit, to me, that's scary. That's when you lose journalism in your country, you're in trouble.
Yeah, well,
we have nothing left. Like the States has a few real journalists left.
Well, we have stuff, but it's all independent, and it's like the CBC tells the people who still listen to the CBC not to trust them, and so therefore they don't, because they've always trusted the CBC and they'll never stop trusting the CBC. So when CBC says that, if you subscribe to this news source, then you're a far right racist, then people believe it. If you just like Google, I don't know if there's a way to do this efficiently, but I bet if you like find every CBC article that has the words far right in it, and then find every CBC article that has the words far left in it, it would be like 1,000 to 1 if there's a 1 with the words far left.
Might be infinite.
They don't even. I don't think they want to admit.
You can't divide by 0, Tim. You can't divide by 0.
Right? It's like they like to pretend that there is no such thing as the far left.
Well, I would disagree with that. If you think communism isn't far left, then okay. Like,
no, to them that's just like probably.
I guess that's just
rational, and like the understood consensus. That's like the other thing I hate is like the constant false consensus reporting. It's like just assuming like, oh, we'll say that everyone thinks this until enough people do, where then we can ostracize people who don't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's a good sign that all these people are quitting, or at least Guilbeault, more like Gabo. He's quitting because, like, it's like, yeah, they had the wrong ideas. They were very, very, very hurtful for our country. They, if if humanity got rid of all of its oil production tomorrow, 9 billion people would die. Like oil, fossil fuels is life, is production, is energy, is ability to live the way we live. It's like you get rid of that, you die. Like it's that simple. Like it's countries that don't have any fossil fuels, you know, they're struggling. Like it's not like they're having great lives, right? Maybe you know,
Well,
maybe they are. But
what's
like,
the alternative in Canada, like for heating your home in the winter?
wood. You burn wood.
I'm sure, yeah, and like the liberals will be like, well, electric heat pumps or something, but
Apparently they don't work so good.
apparently they don't work so good. And also, I don't think the grid can support everyone having electric. I don't know.
Well, as far as I know from electric heat pumps, is they don't use that much energy.
Well,
That's
then
what makes them so good.
No, that sounds good.
But I don't actually know too much about them.
But from what I've heard, they stop working at around -20.
Yes, they don't work when it's too cold. But I don't know. I don't know enough about that. But I mean, yeah, there's a problem when you live in Canada. You need heat. It's kind of a thing. I mean, if you could pan over there, it is very snowy.
Then I'd have to move the camera.
This show ain't no good.
So anyway, all of that to say that, I don't care about Guibo.
I really think he was a horrible, horrible person in terms of his ideas. They set back Canada. And I love how they made him, didn't they make him, like he said, we will never build another road again or some shit like that. Something ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, we don't need any more roads.
Yeah, we were like, we're done with roads, pal.
Yeah, no roads. Don't need any more. We got enough roads, guys. Don't need any more. We're going to let in 1 million people this year. No roads.
The problem is so many stupid fucking things have happened that I start to forget them. It's just too much. I like even things that I've made a video on. You could tell me and I'd be like, oh yeah.
Yep. That's right. That was a big deal before all the other big deals.
Yeah. It was just there's too many. It's like, oh right, our government's run by Chinese spies, and then we'll give a standing ovation to a Nazi in the House of Commons, and then it just goes, let's keep coming. It's too fast.
Yeah. But I'm hopeful. He's doing the right things. He's saying we're going to get a pipeline going, and he has the power to do it. So, you know, that's a better step than them saying no pipelines ever. Like,
sure, yeah. I'm just kind of like a while ago I hit the I'll believe it when I see it stage.
I've hit that. I've always had that.
Yeah,
but it's like, you know, it's better to have them saying the right things than saying the wrong things.
Sure, but the Liberals have been announcing stuff for a decade, and sometimes it sounds okay, but it doesn't matter. It's all just announcements.
Yeah, but like you need to pivot. We are screwed. You're gonna have a riot. You're gonna have a revolt. Like people don't just go quietly into the good night. They eventually revolt, and that's what's gonna happen. And like you're gonna find out in the UK, which you're finding out. You're gonna find out in France, which you're finding out. Right? You push people too far, with bad ideas, and you don't give them a vision of the future. Like what the fuck do kids have today to look forward to? Owning nothing and being happy?
Land acknowledgements.
Right? And now they're doing this thing where it's like, oh, all these are contested lands now. Like they're saying currently, I just heard that the Grand River, this big patch of land across the Grand River, like from 100 miles here to 100 miles there, that's contested land that bans all down the Grand River, which I think Kitchener-Waterloo is a part of.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like...
Yeah, I like... Good luck.
Yeah, but that's just it. It's like...
all of this has to end at some point because you can't, as you said, you can't keep doing this. And so it's like, okay, maybe there's some money that needs to be paid by the government to certain indigenous groups. If that's the case, pay it and let's move on and never talk about this again.
But you can't because then more will pop up. It's just you just got to say sorry. Like I'm
a
mutt from I don't know how many countries. I can't just be like, hey, you know, the Romans fucked me over that many years ago. It's like,
this is my point. Like at a certain point, you'd be like, okay, like if you might have had a claim against the government of Canada for this land, but this is done now. It's paid out, and like
that's why you have these activist judges that are fucking it all up. Like you can't have a Guibo that says no roads and also this land is owned by these people now. Like that doesn't make sense. You got to have people that are not children, that are not run by like childish fantasies. Like, oh, we want to make sure that the poor natives from 2,000 years ago, like native people they went all over the place. Like they conquered these people and then these people and then these people.
Different tribes
so
constantly
you're going to have
killing
infinitely many different iterations of people saying this is my land.
Yes, it's nonsensical.
It's nonsensical.
Yes.
So you have to say, okay, this is the point where it stops. And I think we had that for hundreds of years, or at least 100 years. And now all of a sudden we're going back on it. It's like, this, it's not how humanity works. You can't just, it can't be the sins of the father forever, right? Like, sins of the father is a bad strategy. Can't say, oh, your dad punched me in the face, so I get to punch your child in the face. It's like, it's not a good solution for anything. It's dumb. Like, God. Anyways, you're up.
Yeah, well said.
So, but that's what I heard. So your family will have to leave now.
Well, this is, from what I gather, they don't want the land. They just want money.
Well, that's all anybody wants.
Yeah. But my point is like, okay, if they have a right to a claim of something, the government should pay that out, but then we should never have to hear about it ever again.
I'm sure that's what happened 100 years ago.
Yeah. So
we're hearing about it. So, and like another thing is for the people in BC where this happened, where that stupid government activist judge said that this land is actually owned by both parties now.
yeah,
The mortgages are no longer being honored.
That's super confusing to me.
It is.
Yeah.
And because a bank isn't going to say, okay,
Doesn't
I'll
sound,
give you a mortgage
yeah.
when your property is owned by two people and neither parties are agreeing,
Doesn't sound reliable.
or both parties aren't agreeing. They're going to say, I can't give you a mortgage now. So people that are like, this is real now that's happening. People that are trying to renegotiate their mortgages or change their mortgages or renew their mortgages, the banks are saying no.
Yeah, and
They're
that's
saying
all.
we can't
It's all the
legally,
government's fault.
we can't legally do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of some activist judge who's trying to be, what the fuck's that called? They were, I'm helping everyone. It's like, no, you're not. You're just creating confusion, and you're going to create animosity, and that's not going to be good. It's like the natives had a shit, they had a really bad go. Like where they weren't treated very well and all this shit, right? Like it's not a good thing. And they're still on many of the reservations, it's still horrible conditions and stuff, right? They have a legitimate beef with the government. I agree with that. But when you are claiming things that have no real proof or no like this and that, and they're just saying you're going to have people fighting forever. There's never going to be a solution to it. What you need to do is you need to find the people that are suffering now and say, hey, what can we do to fix this? And the government has done a terrible job. They basically thrown money at the chiefs and made the chiefs very rich. And then there's no incentive for the chiefs to help out other people. Like I'm sure some have.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
a lot of them
not
are
saying that's every case, obviously.
Oh, obviously, but and that's been the solution for I don't know how long. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can be compassionate for the people that are suffering there, but we shouldn't upend our country to appease a small percentage, right? Like it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, you need clear-cut property
You
laws.
need specific laws. That's the thing. I think you're right there. It's like
Just needs
the
clarity.
laws need to be enforced. They need to be specific. They can't just change on a whim like this. This is ridiculous. So it's like, I don't know. Like the thing that made the West great was we were a culture of law. You have laws that you were enforced properly, high trust, and what's it called? Christian values and Judeo values and that stuff. We had a shared culture. If you're going to bring in people that aren't from your culture, well, you better damn well have something else that's making you cohesive. Like, a thought towards maybe, our kids can work together and earn and get better, right? Like you need something that as a culture or as two different cultures, when they come together, you need to be able to be brought together by some vision, some goal that allows you to work together. Otherwise, you're just going to be feuding all the time. And when you take away, young people's future, like hopes, basically, and then you add in all this immigration, and you add in all this confusion with like the natives, you add in these terrible laws where we're not going to build roads anymore. It's like there's so much chaos.
I don't think that one went through.
But it's another version of, and you get rid of our oil, you reduce the standard of living for everybody. Like you're just gonna, it's a powder keg. It's about to blow up.
The biggest tell on the like back to the whole dismantling the climate progress or whatever that's Giba was mad about. This is my point. Is like one of the biggest tells was when they're a part of Nova Scotia and the Maritimes that vote Liberal consistently. That can only heat their houses with home heating oil and like didn't have another option. Well, they were gonna get a carbon tax break, but nobody else in the country.
Well, they get a break because they vote.
And it's like, but this is the problem with the carbon taxes. You're just making things more expensive. And then they would show up in the House of Commons and be like, no, the carbon tax doesn't make things more expensive. It's like, well, what about over there where you said it was making it more expensive, so you're giving them a break? It's like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
And there's the whole thing about like you have inflation that's just rip-roared. What is it? Like anything you buy food related is at least 50% higher than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's
right?
insane.
Inflation's roughly 30% higher, you'd say on average, maybe more.
I mean, with food, it's definitely more than whatever they're saying.
It's doubled in terms of price.
Yeah.
Like, so that's 100%, but everything else in total, in aggregate, maybe 30%. Right. So you have people's wages have gone up to compensate that a little, like slower than the thing of inflation, but at least they've gone up. But what they haven't updated is the tax brackets. So now you have like a family can live off of like what minimum these days. It's like 100 grand or something. It's crazy. And that 100 grand is considered like, it's heavily taxed still, right? Like you're in the 40% tax
you're
range.
Wealthy. Look at you.
Exactly. But it's like, no, we're just, they haven't even done that. So it's like now people are paying more taxes, which is a drain on, like they're spending more, taking in more, and having more people working in government. So our productivity is just down the shithole. It's like people are going to leave. This is bad.
I believe about a quarter of Canadians are employed by the state.
I guess more than that. I think it's
more. That's crazy.
Apparently, since Trudeau took over, it was something like it increased by like 60% the number of employees in the government. Like some wild. So yeah, it went from being like 10% of the people to like 30, something crazy. Like look that up, Jamie. Like it's the percentage of, and like government workers aren't producing anything, right? Like they're not creating things. They're just kind of,
they take money that has been brought in with taxes or either generated and therefore reduces all of our purchasing power. And so it was an indirect tax. So their salaries are purely based on tax to the rest of us. And now, then sure, that salary's taxed, but that's like plugging an extension cord into itself.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thanks for coming here. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while, and here we are after a
lot more snow.
Incredible snowfall. Yeah, actually it wasn't that bad. The whole like new warning system is annoying. I think it's just designed to scare everybody. All the new liberal like warnings, and it's just like, hey, be scared and stay at home alone in your house because it might snow a little bit instead of going to see your friends.
Well, it's bullshit because we're in the orange zone, which is just under the red zone, which is earthquake, tsunami warning. And there was like 8 flakes of snow.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad at all.
No.
So kind of annoying on that one.
It's like, it was like, remember the War on Terror when it's like something somewhere might happen. We're orange level.
We're at terror alert orange, which means something might go down somewhere at some point in time. So look sharp.
So that's essentially what we're here now, but like it's with our weather reporting, which is stupid.
Weather alert orange, which means some flakes of snow might come down somewhere. So look sharp.
And they did. And it's like, okay, a little bit of snow. This is normal.
Yeah. But the problem is you never can tell like at the worst parts of the road, like how they look until you get there, and then maybe they're bad, but still.
I think maybe it's because there's so many more
liberal propaganda.
No, I was going to say new drivers to the country that have never seen snow before.
Oh, that's warning them. Yeah. Well, actually that might be a good. Well, I did see a video on Twitter or whatever. I guess there was like a 10-hour wait on the 401 by Kitchener, something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, well, I guess like, you got all these trucks. The people are new truck drivers. They've never seen snow before in their life.
Snow's tricky. It makes things white and then slippery.
I think if you've never driven in snow before, you don't understand how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time I drove in snow. Very, very, very first time. I drove out of my parents' driveway and down the road to the first left and did a full 360. And then I was like, okay, we're good. Didn't hit anything. Luckily, didn't hit anything. And just kept going.
It's like, okay, so that's what I need to pay attention for. Yeah.
Now, I did drive one of the most boxy cars in the history of the Dodge Dynasty, which is just like a box on wheels. And the tires we had were...
Well, the other thing is the snow tires. So I just found this out because my buddy's a paramedic. They don't put snow tires on the ambulances. You would think that should warrant...
No, because it's like a bus. They don't put seatbelts on buses. It's everybody else's problem. Bus is just going to hit you.
I want the ambulance to be able to reach me, not get stuck in a ditch because they didn't have snow tires.
That's true, actually. That's a good point. When it snowed real bad last year, there was a lady who I had to pick up her kid because she literally got stuck in like a bowl where it was like a hill going down and a hill going up.
Oh, yeah, you just couldn't get out.
Stuck at the bottom of the hill.
That's like my nightmare.
It was. And like cars just kept smashing into her.
Oh,
like her car got total because like cars went down, cars couldn't get up.
Oh,
and
no. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fun. So, and they all had snow tires, but it's just like it doesn't always help. So maybe the ambulances know best. Maybe they know you don't need no snow tires.
I think you do.
Maybe it's just liberal propaganda.
I think you do need snow tires.
I think you do. Yeah.
I think definitely helps.
I think they make a difference for sure.
Well, the other thing he was telling me like about the speeds that they're allowed to go, it's basically like what people zip around at anyway, like because everyone's always speeding. So it's like they'll be doing their max speed on the highway or whatever, and there's people passing them easily.
Are they limited?
Yeah, they're not allowed to go like insanely fast.
That seems weird.
It's only like 20 or 30 above.
Of all the cars, you want to go extremely fast.
Right. So it's only like 20 or 30 above the limit that they're allowed to go.
That's wild.
And
it's like a cop car. There's no way they limit cop cars, right?
I guess they know they have no snow tires, so it's like, hey, don't go too fast.
Yeah, there's like even just coming on like a bend or something, you can't tell if there's ever going to be like black ice or anything. You got to go slow. So if you're new and you're just like, it looks completely clear, you're just going to wipe the fuck.
Man, and have you seen some of these videos of like the trucks just completely wiping out in the snow and jackknifing? Yeah, like they'll just take the turn too fast or whatever. And
yeah, it's hard. If you've never ever been in snow before, what are you going to do?
Frightening. It is frightening to think that like you're on the road with some people who just have like no idea.
Yeah. Well, I remember in Waterloo, the University of Waterloo, it was like wintertime came around, you were careful because all the rich kids with their fancy cars that had never seen snow before.
They just got here, bought a BMW. And
it was just like bling, 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 bling.
Here's the first winter.
Bumper cars. So you always watched out right near the University of Waterloo. You didn't want to be anywhere near it. It was a fun time.
Thank God I walked to school.
Yeah, I mean, you got to dodge
the dodge the cars, but don't worry about driving.
You don't get a ding, you just might die. It's better. But yeah, so... Carbon monoxide just went off at my house, so we were checking that out. Turns out my kid just pressed the button.
That's a relief.
So that's why we had to pause there. This is good.
No worries. Good. I don't know like if we'll use the stuff we already recorded.
Yeah,
Maybe some of it. I don't know.
Wait, the stuff we did before this?
Yeah.
Why?
Like most of it. I don't know.
It was good.
We gotta go watch it again.
This wasn't bad.
We've had worse, probably.
I didn't make any gay comments, even though lots of oh no, I did say gay-bo.
It's like I'm pretty sure you did make at least one gay joke.
Yeah, I meant gay-bo. That's true. But like maybe yes, who knows? Maybe that's a hack. Who knows? Could be.
Does it make it worse to joke about it or better?
I don't know. Like if a duck's there and you call him a duck, is it bad? Is it worse to call him a duck? I guess if he wants to be called a swan.
If there's hate crimes associated with calling him a duck in the wrong way.
I guess.
This is not a good analogy.
No. I've never been good at those. Yeah, no, it's a wild world we live in now. How about them Leafs?
God, they suck so bad lately.
It's like everything else in the world was crashing down, and I was like, at least the Leafs are doing pretty well. Not this year. This year, it's like everything else is crashing around the world, and so are the Leafs. They're just terrible.
It's been a little tough to watch lately.
That's the thing. It's if they were losing but playing well, you'd be like, oh, they're right there. But they're losing and playing terribly. Like it's bad. It's hard to watch how bad it is. They get like 5 shots.
I was gonna say like the shot total in the first like 10 or so minutes of last night's game, it was 9-1 for Washington,
Yeah, that's
and
not
we were winning 1-0 because we scored the Leafs scored on their first shot, but
they got scored on within the first.
yeah. So if that had counted, but then obviously shit the bed at the end, blew the lead and lost the game. So
Yeah.
where have I seen that before?
No, never, ever before. Never even, not even close to 2014. It's never happened.
No.
All I picture is Reimer falling down like this. That hurt. I remember pounding on my neighbors because he was a Bruins fan in 2014, and every time we scored, I'd pound on the wall because we had adjoining walls.
Yeah, that's why I never want to have to live in a house that's a semi or whatever.
And then at the very
Townhouse.
end, when they scored, I heard a
Just one, eh?
just one.
That's even more insulting.
It hurt.
Ooh,
It got me.
yeah.
Holy shit! Look at the size of that fucking dog.
Oh, that's the horse dog. Yeah, that's the horse.
It's a horse.
That's the horse dog that lives near here. It's a big freaking dog.
Great Dane, for sure.
I don't know what kind. It's huge.
Gotta be.
You could ride that dog.
That's as big as the girl carrying it.
She's not carrying him. You mean holding the leash?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But the listeners
You know how you come.
cannot see.
What listeners?
Some people might be.
Hopefully nobody listens to me.
All right. Well, let's talk about something a little bit more interesting than the dog outside the window.
You know what? That was pretty cool to see that dog. I've never seen a dog that big before.
World's worst podcast. Hey, there's a dog outside the window.
That dog has a puffy tail.
If there's anybody still listening,
You know what? This is perfect. Hopefully. At least we're not streaming to like 50,000 people.
I think you just like watch the number go down as they all stop watching.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
I don't know. Some streamers are shit. Like you just throw them on because you want some noise in the
I've
background.
never thrown a streamer on once in my life.
I've started to just watching like not all the time, but just randomly I'll watch like an Asmongold clip or something.
I watch the clips, yeah, because they're funny.
Yo, no, I've never watched a live stream.
I've never watched a
No,
live
no, no,
stream.
no.
Okay, you're just watching. I watch clips all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I get most
Because most of the live stream is boring. You just
Yeah.
like they put the interesting stuff in the clips.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I watch the clips. That's how I know random things that are happening in the world is all based through the lens of one random streamer saying, "Hey guys, look what's going on."
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, that's weird." And yeah, it's wild. I really want to get to the bottom of this, but every time I try to do it, I just lose interest. Is the Macron's wife? How she's like 30 years older and probably a man.
So did you hear what's her face? Candace Owens.
Owens, yeah.
Is saying that like they've hired a hit out on her and like they're trying to assassinate her.
See, Candace Owens, I like, but she's crazy.
I've never heard a word that she said. Like I
she's-
heard that, but
It's weird because I listened to her a long time ago when she was just starting, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's interesting. You know, she's got a lot of good points and stuff. She's very, very conservative kind of thing, like they all are. But like lately, she's gone full on whack job. Like, but you can't because she was making sense before, and it's like, really, is she that off base? And then you start going down the rabbit hole, and you just can't because it's just like it's too crazy.
yeah.
But I still have
I've
a
got
feeling-
I've got work in the morning. I
Yeah.
like I don't have time for
But I
this.
still like, and then in the back of your head, you're like, I think she's right still, even though I think she's crazy. It's like
Well,
moon
the
landing-
problem is too many crazy things have turned out to be true.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I don't even know anymore, man.
Well, like, I heard somewhere of like this is the whole Macron's wife thing, where it's like, so he was 14 when he met her, and she was a teacher.
Yeah, I believe this is true.
and
yeah.
and I think this is all on record.
Yeah.
And they got married at some point, which is just weird to marry your 14-year-old. I don't know when they got married. I assume it wasn't when he was 14, but even still, it's kind of weird. And then when you look into there was never the name of her, whatever the Macron name was, never existed prior to some date. So it's like
He changed his
there's
name to
no-
a made up name.
Yeah, basically the theory, and I have no idea if this is true. I think this is Candace Owens theories. 'Cause I've only watched snippets of it. I can't stomach enough of it to get through it. She did like a 7-hour part on it,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
made it through like 20 minutes of the first one. But I think what it is it was a man who transitioned and then became that woman or whatever, and now has married the leader of France or whatever you call it, kind of thing. Like that's the general story of it. And then because Candace Owens was saying that, they sued her. And they were like, "You're slandering us," or "I don't know what it's called." And then Candace Owens was like, "Sure, sue me. Now I get discovery, right? And so
We'll get more documents.
we'll
and
get
stuff.
more information, and then they canceled. They
lawsuit.
no longer sue.
So they're just trying to intimidate her into silence.
right. So and then that's the whole thing where you're like,
Okay,
see
what-
again, Candace Owens crazy, but maybe not.
Well,
It's weird.
The other
It's
thing
very
could be
weird.
it's like there's nothing to find in discovery. They just don't want to go through the process.
Maybe that's true too. Could very well be, but I prefer because I like stupid, crazy conspiracies. That I prefer to believe that there's something there where there's smoke.
Well, the whole age
But-
difference thing is super weird.
Weird. It's like 30 years.
Yeah, that's
like,
nuts.
that's crazy, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't. But I wish that there was like a machine you could hook yourself up to that would just tell you if whatever you're watching is actually true or not. That'd be cool. Like a
The matrix detector.
yeah, like it'd be like so you don't have to go through all the bullshit of
Yeah.
actually trying to figure it out yourself.
That
It
would-
would just be like, bing,
That'd
and
be
you're like,
handy.
ha!
But
yeah, it'd be super
whoever
handy.
controlled that would game it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, for sure. But I mean, I would just wish it existed because I'm crazy. But like, yeah, that'd be sweet. I really would want to get Trudeau on that and ask him some questions and be like, do you actually believe this crazy nonsense that you believe in? I have a feeling. And that the whole thing with him being gay, right? Did you go down that rabbit hole?
Trudeau's gay.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, we all know he's gay, but really?
But apparently, I don't know. Now he's dating what's her face from Katy
Katy Perry.
Perry. It's like,
Is she gay?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Is everyone gay?
I think everyone is gay. I think that's
that's their whole plan is to
I
just
guess.
turn everybody gay. But
so. It's like I don't know. I have no idea. My whole worldview is just broken. Super gay at this point.
I don't. Yeah, I just try to make fun of things when I know it's funny,
Yeah.
and then hope that good change happens.
Yeah.
That's about where I am.
One thing I've noticed is if you really stop paying attention to all of the minutia of all the news that's going around, you feel so much better.
Oh, 100%.
So much better.
Like, sometimes I'll pause the Twitter app so it gives you a double check every time you try to open it, and then it's like okay, so I won't open it for a little while and I feel way better.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter. Actually, my Twitter just got canceled because I didn't use it enough. So I think it thinks I'm a bot and just kicked me out.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So it was like you or somebody broke into it and is using it because it said I violated terms and service. I haven't used it in like 3 years. So maybe that's the terms of service is I haven't used it enough. But
I think there's just like a lot of AI programs being released into the wild by these companies that just don't work very well. Like
maybe.
I saw somebody complaining on Twitter that they have a pretty big YouTube channel. They've built it up over the years. And then so this YouTube algorithm to detect bots and whatever found a channel that he had created when he was 13 years old, and had like one video with like no views or whatever and like a comment or something. And then it was like, oh, we linked you to this channel from like 20 years ago, and therefore we're terminating your current channel with like 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, 'cause you're a bot.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of jank for the first little bit while this AI shit gets ironed out. But man, the Sora videos you can see now, it's like, oh my god, we can no longer trust anything. I went right down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole
you can't trust anything you see now.
of the chiropractic ones with the old people. Hilarious. Have you seen those ones?
No.
They're so good. It's like a chiropractic professional is working on some old person, and they're like, okay, let's just see how this, and they'll just throw a chair at them. Just smash them with a
I
chair.
think I did see one of
love
these.
that shit.
So funny.
Or they'll just throw them into a wall or something.
Yeah,
It's just
I
so
saw that. I did see
stupid.
that.
So that's been the one thing. Like again, I'm a boomer who's like, those are what I enjoy now. And then
That's
I've also gone down the rabbit hole of the porch pirates. There's like infinite number of these now, where a porch pirate will pick something up and then it just explodes like in like a puff of like clearly AI. Like it's just too much that you're like it's AI because they'll just like fucking fly.
Incinerate them.
It's crazy, and I'm just like, oh, so it's so fun to watch these dumb ones, or the ones where the animals get stopped by the cops.
And
driving.
it's funny to think that each one of those videos cost OpenAI like $5 to make.
Oh my god, it's nothing. It's wild.
It was not nothing. They're losing money on every single.
100%. They're losing money, but I mean, the people that are having these memes go viral are making tons of money off of it. They must be.
Can you make money on Sora? I don't know. I've never been on it.
With a video that goes viral?
Well, lots of these videos, like someone will just screen cap it or whatever, and then put it on Twitter, so the Twitter version goes viral.
Yes, I
and like the original creator
I
can't
don't know
get
how
anything.
the internet works anymore, Tim. I'm too old.
No, the problem is Twitter allows you to monetize other people's content. So
But that seems like a problem.
yeah, so there's just so much slop of like stuff is like regurgitated by these large accounts, and
but
no
like,
one makes anything anymore.
The dog ones are hilarious. There's like a guy riding a giraffe, and the officers are like, "Stop, stop," and they stop, and then the giraffe will they'll just like run away and peel away with the giraffe. It's so.
Sounds like you've been watching too many of these.
It looks too good. It's too good. It's too fun.
No, what I'm waiting for is what we talked about last time, which is like some people making some good movies with AI stuff.
Oh my god, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Be good.
I feel like we're getting at the point where we're actually getting good movies again, which is
Because
nice.
you're gonna get fan created movies that don't suck.
But like I feel like we're at the point now where they're starting to put out some good movies. I've seen some good movies lately, some decent ones. So I've been watching. Mostly they're on Apple TV. Have you seen Pluribus?
No.
You should watch Pluribus. It's pretty entertaining. But it's like the shows are actually entertaining. You're like, wow, this show is actually entertaining, which it hasn't been forever, right? It was just slop before, and they're mostly like series on Apple TV. So it's like, I don't know. Can you count that as a movie? I guess not. But like, when was the last time you went to a movie theater?
It's over a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Like they must just be losing money like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's gotta just be bad to be a movie theater at this point.
Well, they just kept making terrible movies.
Yeah.
And like I just didn't trust them anymore.
If there was good films, they would have easily gone through the whole COVID debacle where like everything shut down, and they would have come out the other side.
Just so sick of being like preached at when you go to watch a movie and try to like get some escapism. I just want a good story, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna just stop the story for a second to tell you that white men are bad."
Well, they are. They're the evil people. Don't you know you're evil, Tim?
I've heard that.
You should have
once
decided
or twice.
to be born a different gender and race.
Mm-hmm.
You evil person, you. Yeah, it's good times. I'm glad that we're still. It seems like that shit's been calming down too, though. Like no, we're not. It's not as strong anymore.
This mind virus is not going away easily. It's
No.
still like just now. The Waterloo Region District School Board is facing a legal challenge over the fact that like this the school council meeting, they were doing a land acknowledgement, and then one parent was like, I don't want to be forced to sit through a land acknowledgement. Like, I disagree with that. And then they were like, no, there's no debate on it. Like, this is the way it is. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to charter challenge this. And so now they're facing a lawsuit. And it's funny because I think it's the same school board that's currently facing the lawsuit that I have actually kicked in a bit of money to like the GoFundMe for.
Oh, you're totally going to get canceled. Your bank account's going to be
Carolyn Brzezinski, because she was trying to basically at like one of these meetings point out some of the books that they had made available to the kids in the library, and like
super gay books,
super gay graphic sex books, and then they basically like shut her down and didn't let her talk about it, and then they were trying to hit her with like human rights abuse.
They were suing her?
Well, basically they were like, yeah, you're suspended because this violates people's human rights to like say that these books can't be here or whatever. And then they basically suspended her, and then the time that she was going to retire anyway like came and passed. So I think she's like retired now, but she still is like going through this lawsuit process against the board because it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years, but they're not going to get to trial until probably late next year.
Oh, and you're paying money through this whole time?
So she's raised about $186,000
Good for her.
to help like pay for all this.
It's so stupid. It's like,
But like the thing is, it has to be done because these school boards and these schools need to be sued so that they understand that they can't do this garbage.
Yeah, and they just keep taking it further and further and further.
Yeah. Oh, it's exactly. It'll never stop. And like, there's this part of there's this discourse going on online in the right wing sphere of things right now with like older
the manosphere.
No, just like the conservative side of like the internet, and where like old school conservatives don't want new school conservatives to like seize the reins of government and actually do them to enforce like conservative things in the way that the liberals currently use them to enforce postmodern like stupid progressive nonsense. Which is just to me insane. It's like, what's the point of even wielding power if you're not going to use it to do the things that you care about? Do you have like no more like conviction on the things that you believe at all?
Yeah. Well, it's that whole slippery slope where you have like, even in the States, you have Biden trying to put Trump in jail. It's like, do you know what you started by doing that? It's like you can't.
Yes. Do you know what you
try to
started by
convict-
land acknowledgements and
Yeah.
like?
It's like you can't try to put your political enemies in jail. You can't.
You can't say your country is illegitimate and then think there will be no repercussions from that.
So like now when a conservative gets in, they're going to have to pivot hard against all the shit you were, and do the same stupid tactics that you use, which is not good, but
It would be nicer if everyone thought that there was some level of neutrality, but the problem is there never will be, because if you don't push back on what the liberal postmodern types are going to do, and the second they get power back again, they're just going to keep pushing it further in their direction.
well, that's why I think this Carney government's been so good, because they haven't been pushing it that far, and they've been actually trying to fix some things. And it's
words are different than actions. I know he said that this
sure,
this
but-
isn't considered like a feminist budget, but I think they still have all this like woke gender just rice for the middle, like the
but they're
the
going
third
to,
worlders.
because we all know what that is, right? We all know that's a way for them to siphon money off to their buddies and whatever.
Right,
fucking
so
thing here
like
and there.
let's stop that.
Well, of course, let's stop that. But good fucking luck. Like it's like you got to take some win somewhere, right? Like you can't just be like, you're not going to fix the whole thing immediately, and that's the whole problem. He fucked it up for 10 years. You're not going to turn it around in one, right? The problem is if Pierre had gotten in, he wouldn't have had time to fix it before the next election because it's so fucked, right? So it's not like he would have tried to fix it, gotten a little bit stuff done, and then by the time like this shitstorm, because eventually we're going to have to go through some pretty hard times, right? Like you can't borrow this amount of money and have this bad of economy without having a terrible recession. We haven't had a recession in like what, 20 years? Like a crazy amount of time. Like
I'm pretty sure we're in a recession.
2007. We're definitely in a recession. Everybody feels it. But like a recession gets bad, right? Like a recession is like, 20 to 30% of your population loses their job, right? It's just what happens. So it's like, we haven't had one of those in a long time. And recessions, although
the government keeps hiring people.
yeah, that's just it, right? That's just it. So, but the problem with not having a recession is you don't get all of that corruption and waste burned off, right? Like, because that's what happens, right? You have these zombie companies that shouldn't be alive that are making it through, either fraudulent means or they're not. They're gaming the system somehow. And as soon as you have a little bit of a recession, they get burned off and they fail.
Oh, they get bailed out by the government.
Eventually. Well, lately, yeah. That's you're right. So
Look at Air Canada, man. They got all that money during COVID, and then they gave it all to bonuses.
but look at
And then they still try to do the job cuts. Remember? They was like, take this money so you don't cut jobs. Okay, we're going to cut jobs, and we get bonuses.
and then the mail. Oh my God, they lost.
They
something
lose
like
so
$1.2
much money every
billion
year,
or
and they
something
want
crazy.
more.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
And they're still like,
where's this?
we demand more.
Where's this money coming from?
Government.
Yeah, well,
From the people. The government prints it from nowhere, and then everybody gets taxed.
it's like I agree that like we can pay something to have a postal service that will help certain areas that otherwise would not be able to have any measure of postal service or like courier or whatever.
100%.
But the idea that you can lose $2 billion a year or whatever it is,
Yeah, something crazy.
and then demand more money.
Yeah, and then strike and say we need more money. It's like, hey, in any kind of rational society, the strike would have been everybody gone and new management and start over and see if we can fix it. Like in an actual non-governmental job, that's what would have happened, right? If you're losing $2 billion a year, you go under. You don't just go, hey, more money, please. Like you don't put your hand out further asking for more. Like it's ridiculous. That's why government always runs so inefficiently. It's because the incentive is to do just good enough that you keep going. It's not to be as efficient as possible. It's even
Yeah, it's insane when you look at a company like, for example, Amazon, like how quickly and cheaply they can get you almost any object under the sun. It's like a government could never function that way.
try that with Canada Post. Nope. That's why I used to get all kinds of Amazon packages from Amazon Post, and they were always late, and sometimes they wouldn't come, and it was awful. And lately, you just don't get any packages from them because they're not cost effective. Like Amazon doesn't use them anymore. They use all those other delivery.
Well, I see it every single day. There's guys driving U-Haul trucks up and down the street dropping off Amazon packages because I guess they just contract out anybody who has a truck, and so there's people who just like do it full time. Like, I don't know how much it costs to rent a U-Haul truck for a day, but probably like 20 or I see on the side of the van it says $19.99, so I'm assuming it's like $20.
Yep. So they could do that way more efficiently than Canada Post, which is terrible. Anytime when I buy a video card and I buy it from like Newegg or something, and I would see the Canada Post shipping label, I was like, fuck me. And it was always 1 or 2 weeks late. Always.
Yeah. And like as far as like documents or whatever, I think there's 1 or 2 items a year I get it from Canada Post where it's like, okay, I probably couldn't have gotten this a different way. Like as far as like
you need them.
as far as like online or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, once or twice a year.
Yeah, that's why you need them. But it's like, I don't know. They need to do something better. I bought a glove off of like a goalie glove off of like some guy in Toronto off of Sideline Swap. And it was from Toronto. So Toronto to here, you can drive that in what? An hour? 10 minutes? Yeah. So I ordered it, waited. They said, oh, it's coming this day. It's coming. It never came. Eventually, they just said, oh, we can't find it. I was like, what are you talking about? You can't find it.
It's gone.
So I called them. They're like, yeah, it's some problem with customs. I'm like, customs? It's from Toronto. They're like, yeah, something's wrong with it. And I was like, okay. And then I waited another week, and I kept calling, and I said, hey, what's going on with that? And they're like, yeah, it's been destroyed. I was like, what? What do you mean it's been destroyed?
Customs.
I'm like, what are you talking about? It's been destroyed. They're like, yeah, it says here it's been destroyed.
We just destroyed your package.
Why would you destroy my package? What is the reason for that? And they're like, well, it just happens sometimes when it goes through customs and they don't. I'm like, it's from Toronto. Yeah, it says. And I was like, motherfucker. Anyway, so like...
It's like that South Park episode. It's gone.
It's gone. And it's gone. And so Sideline Swap was like, okay, we'll refund you and this and this and this. And I was like, motherfucker. And then like a week or two later, before I got the refund, it showed up at my door. This is like 6 months
So
late.
Somebody told you with confidence it was destroyed. And it showed up. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I was like... Because then I told them that because I was kept in contact with Sideline. Because Sideline Swap was like,
seems unlikely.
Call them up, see what you can do kind of thing. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So eventually I got it, but it was just like, oh my God, they don't know what they're doing. This is like, It was a package in a it was like, he wrapped up like a Huggies diaper thing with the glove in it. And then.
So it's just a box.
A box taped up, and it had a shipping label that basically said glove in it. Like red glove or something. Red Bauer glove. And they fucked that up. How do you fuck that up? It's a goalie glove, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, that was
funny.
my...
Completely random aside from that, but you just reminded me of a thing I just saw. Like, some company that shipped bikes, they were like, their customers were constantly getting broken bikes. Like they wouldn't make it through the shipping process, so they just started printing a giant picture of a TV on the side of the bike box, and the complaints went down by like 90%.
That's genius.
Yeah. Still a bike in a box, but they just put a picture of a TV on it.
Bike in a box, just chuck that shit. And that's the thing. The box that they gave me was beat to shit.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Like they didn't give a fuck.
Dude, a box of diapers? You can't break that.
You can't break that. It was just beat up. Like who gives a fuck? Yeah, that was fun. But I got the glove now. That's what I use. It's great.
Good. Happy ending to the story.
It's a great experience.
And you still let in like 5 goals a game, so it doesn't even...
Not against you.
Yeah, like more like 10.
Not even close. But yeah, that's my experience with Canada Post. The worst people there. And anytime you see it, when you see Pure later, when you're getting a graphics card shipped, you're like, thank Christ. But when you see that dreaded Canada Post, you just know.
I don't think anyone's buying a graphics card these days. How much do they cost?
Not these days.
$1,000.
Insane, and they're gonna go up because of DRAM. RAM's gone way up. So good luck with that.
Well, on that note, it's been a fun convo. Thanks for dropping by. Always love to see you. And good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Good night.